Today's Girl Which Way show is brought to you by Shalia Speaks. Shalia Speaks is the umbrella that the Shalia brand stands under. Whether it's coaching sessions, books, or speaking, Shalia Speaks is the vehicle that gets my voice out to you all. Visit shaliavinny.com and book a coaching session, find out more about me, grab one of my books, and more. I can't wait to connect more with you. Hello and welcome to the Girl Which Way podcast, the show that exists because life is a journey, but you still need direction. Grab your tribe and get ready, because each episode we're going to be talking about our real life issues, answering questions, and building solid relationships with one another as we heal and learn. I'm your host, your girl, Shalia Vinny, and today's show poses the question, are you happy with you, or are you happy with what you have? Can we talk about it? In a society that's all about capitalism and the bottom line, we've been conditioned since birth to go get it, and when we get it, to take seconds. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and we have to be hungry if we're going to survive. You got to get the nicest car, the nicest clothes, the most expensive houses, and enjoy the finer things life has to offer. We all do it, chasing success, or at least what looks like it, so that others can be impressed with our accomplishments. Society seems to care so much about appearing to be successful that we don't even see you for you. We see you for what you can offer. Even when you meet someone new, what's one of the first questions they ask you? Oh, nice to meet you. What do you do? What do you do? We think we're making small talk, but the truth is we're sizing them up so that we can decide how much respect they deserve. You're a doctor, you're a lawyer, entrepreneur, high earner of any kind. Respect right off the bat. The conversation continues because you're deemed worthy. You're a minimum wage earner? Ew. Nice meeting you, but no need to network with a low earner, right? What could they possibly do for you? The higher the earning pool you get around, the more of this you start to see. And it really makes me sick because we don't see each other. We do see each other, but not in any way that really matters. We're secretly all so insecure that we're looking for an excuse to look down on others because it makes us feel better about ourselves. They drive a hoopty? Ew, how sad. You feel more successful pulling up next to them in your big body Benz or your other luxury car. The reason why you buy the designer clothes, shoes, and handbags is because those things make you feel more successful and in turn make you feel like a better person. In fact, I would argue that this is why you often see the poorest people living out loud the most. Go to any hood and you're going to see some of the nicest cars, biggest TVs, closets full of designer brands and jewelry. Some of these people are also on housing programs. They earn minimum wage. They're on government assistance, but you wouldn't be able to tell their financial status by looking at them. Now, why do you think that is? Because being poor is depressing. So we often use stuff to give the appearance that we're doing better than we really are because it makes us feel better about ourselves and our lives. We want others to respect us. And don't think that they're only doing that stuff in the hood. Don't you think for 1 minute they're not doing the same thing across town. The middle and upper class communities are doing the same thing. And the real issue is they make more money, or decent money, if you will. But what they don't tell you is that the more they make, the more they often spend. They buy bigger houses and upgrade their cars and their clothes. But what lots of them don't tell you is that they're living way above their means. That house and car is killing them, and they have to work their butts off to keep up with all the latest and the greatest, and they still have trouble keeping up. But anything to appear successful, right? As long as they respect you. Social media certainly is not helping because everyone's posting all their wins and successes and even the lies. You know how many people have been called out for posting fake receipts and cars and houses and expensive stuff that isn't even theirs? Everyone's trying to prove to you that they got it like that they've secured the bag, even if it's a knockoff. And guess what? At our core, none of us are really happy about it deep down. So what's it all for? Tell me, when's the last time you checked in with yourself and really just ask yourself, am I happy? Do it right now. Are you happy? Inside. Why are you happy? What makes you happy? Does your mind go back to your nice things? Is that all you have to be thankful about? I'll tell you a story. I was set to go to Harvard growing up and made it into all the best programs and was well on my way. Then I got pregnant with our daughter and everything stopped. Everyone was disappointed, and I had to figure out how to redeem myself. I went into nursing and did very well for myself in corporate nursing. For so long, I chased what success looked like. I said I would be a six-figure earner, and I became one. I said I would be a manager, and I did, multiple times actually. I went for it, and I hit the mark. And you know what? I wasn't even happy. I had more work, more money, and more stuff for sure, but I didn't even know why I kept showing up to work. I was so miserable, I could scream. The thing that people don't tell you is that the more money you make, the more you can be tempted to spend if you're not responsible with your money. You start showing up to work, and remember, you work around other high earners. So you see nice cars and hear about nice vacations, and you see nice houses and nice diamond rings on their fingers. And it's so easy to get lost in the sauce, and you start to feel like you're missing out or you aren't good enough if you don't match that same energy. So what do? We start to assimilate. Got to keep up with the Joneses. Then you realize that you now have to keep this job that you already don't like, and you keep working because you no longer own your stuff. It now owns you. The only thing worse than buying stuff that you can't really afford and letting everyone see it is losing it. The fear of what people will think when you downsize or get a cheaper car or have to settle for what looks like is less quality items is terrifying for people. No one wants to be the butt of those jokes, so we keep going. I was this person. I had to grow up and decide what would make me happy. I remember being a DON or a director of nursing and having a really nice salary, but I also stayed late and I arrived early. I wasn't home like I used to be. So our kids had everything except for me. I didn't like that. And I knew something had to give. I knew I had fully grown up once I started to turn down high profile jobs, manager, director, lead, president, etc. There was a time when my credit score couldn't buy me a bike and I wanted a Mercedes. Then there came a time when my credit score and net worth said I could drive that Mercedes and comfortably afford it. And you know what I chose? A Kia, then a Ford. I never had more satisfaction. Before, it was get the car you want so people will know that you can afford it. Now it's who cares what they think? You can drive whatever you want and you can afford it. And as long as you know that, that's all that matters. Y'all better clap for me because that is growth. I chased it for so long, and when I made it, it didn't feel how I thought it would. I would rather actually have money than to just look like I do. By the way, can I just tell y'all that I've sat at many tables with multimillionaires and most of them don't look like millionaires? They often don't drive the high-end cars or put their money on their bodies as far as designer labels are concerned. One of them told me once that they had no need to impress people who made way less than them when they knew that they could buy whatever they wanted. Do you know how much I learned from this person? Lots of the people bragging about what they have are those who are the loudest about their stuff often struggle to maintain it. Not all, but a lot of them. Don't think that acquiring stuff is what's going to make you happy. You want to know how you can tell that money isn't everything and doesn't make you happy? How many people have you seen who seemingly have it all commit suicide? Celebrities included. If money solved all your problems and made you happy, why would you take your own life? Some of the people in the biggest and nicest houses cry themselves to sleep at night and are often some of the saddest people. Lots of people who actually have money would argue that money doesn't fix your problems at all. And in fact, it can make things worse. Things like the stress of trying to keep it, the people who are lined up trying to find ways to take some of it, never knowing if people really like you for you because they now see you as an opportunity. That's enough to make me understand why it's not what it's cracked up to be. So again, I ask you, are you happy at your core? Who are you at your core? Not what you do, what you own, or the balance of your bank account. As a person, who are you? If your whole identity is tied to your assets or even your appearance, we got a problem. If you get embarrassed about material things you either have or do not have because of fear of what others are going to think, you have a problem. If you need constant validation to feel like you're doing okay, we have a problem. Do you buy things that you know you can't afford to keep up with appearances? We have a problem. None of this stuff will make you any better or any happier. Don't you get it? Today's Girl Which Way show is brought to you by Shalia Speaks. Shalia Speaks is the umbrella that the Shalia brand stands under. Whether it's coaching sessions, books, or speaking, Shalia Speaks is the vehicle that gets my voice out to you all. Visit shaliavinny.com and book a coaching session, find out more about me, grab one of my books, and more. I can't wait to connect more with you. So we've been talking about society, and we've been discussing how society perceives money and success. and basically looking at the idea that money is not everything. And money is so not everything that I can think of multiple things that take precedence or are more important than money. Like number one, your family. There's literally nothing more special or important than your family, whether it's the one you come from or the one you create. Your spouse, your kids, your parents, siblings, etc. Your tribe, as much as they get on your last nerve, and they do, is a blessing because there are billions of people walking the earth, and these select few are yours. Your health, number two. You ever want to feel grateful? Go to the cancer ward, the NICU, the psych ward, or the ICU. Go to the cemetery. You could be in any of those situations, but you're not. Health is no big deal until yours begins to fail. You better be grateful. Number three, your time. Don't you know that each day is a gift? Every day you open your eyes and you're still above ground is a cherished blessing. It's not too late for one more I love you, hug, kiss. Don't take tomorrow for granted. It's not promised. Number four, your impact. Oh yeah, this is your legacy outside of family, of course. How will you be remembered? What will people miss about you? Are you actively trying to put your best foot forward every day into the world to make it better for someone else in some way? The world doesn't need more negativity and bad news. We need more light. So which side are you on? How are you impacting others? Number five, your gifts. Your gifts and your passions give you a reason to exist. They fuel you and they make life worthwhile. Your gifts are always for other people, by the way. They're never just for you. So use them up before you leave Earth because you're never going to be able to take them with you. And somebody out there needs your gift. So again, I got to ask you, are you happy? Are you really happy? You know what? Someone once said that I thought I was better than her because of her career choices. Now, I'll tell you guys the same thing I told her. Your choices are your choices, but you are the one that has to live with them. I've worked minimum wage, been on public assistance, and struggled my ass off, just like a lot of other people. So I can always empathize with those struggling because I've been there too. Therefore, I will never be in a position to look down my nose at someone based on what they choose to do, even if I don't agree with it. Nope. If I look at you sideways, it's because you lack character. It's because you're not a good person. It's because you're cruel. You think money and titles make you better than anyone? You better think again. Some of the foulest people I've ever been in the same room with have been fabulously wealthy. And in turn, some of the purest hearts I've ever come in contact with have been connected to some of the poorest people. Money doesn't make you any better than anyone, and accumulating more and more stuff gets old too. When you leave this earth, the only thing that will matter is what you left here that money couldn't buy, how you treated people. You think your loved ones are going to sit around crying going, man, I miss how they shopped for me? Or are they going to remember the special times, the laughter, the love, the memories? I really pray it's the latter. It's nice to work hard for success, but it is not okay to become a slave to things and money in the process. Life is so much bigger. So you guys, as Christmas approaches, try to remember what the season is really about and enjoy the special time with your family. Cherish each other and remember that that is the true gift. You have a lot of reasons to smile. Remember, some people are so poor that money is all they have. You are not one of those people, so don't forget to count your blessings. I love you guys so much. Today's show was brought to you by Shalia Speaks. Please rate the show on your favorite streaming platform and share it with one person who you think needs to hear it, and then ask them to do the same. Remember, good, better, best. Never let it rest. Till your good is better and your better is best. Until next time, your friend and motivator, Shalia. Bye.